Hi, I'm Amy Holthouse, Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce President. Thank you for joining us for Chamber Chat today. Joining me today, I have Jane Barker from Wellness Works and Anthony Pruett, who is a student at Purdue Polytechnic and also my intern, and Trevor Okerson from the Wayne County Chamber. Hi Jane, how are you today?
I'm fine, Amy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I know you're very busy with Wellness Works and everything else going on. To start out for our viewers, I know Wellness Works is amongst a family of businesses that are family-owned businesses.
Yes.
And sometimes it gets a little confusing who's where and what. So since you're primarily Wellness Works, if you could start out, maybe tell us a little bit about that piece of the puzzle and how it connects to the others.
Sure. Wellness Works is a subsidiary of RMD Patty Insurance here in Richmond. Wellness Works is a corporate wellness program. So we go in and we work with employers to develop a wellness program for their employees. Basically just gives the employees the opportunity to choose a healthier lifestyle. Wellness Works has common ownership through John Dills with RMD Patty Insurance and Family Fitness Works, the gym here in town, which also includes the Recplex and the Sportsplex. So we are three separate entities. However, we do have common ownership and we partner together quite often because we're all in that same wellness kind of focus at times.
So all those things play off of each other and work well hand in hand, so it really makes a lot of sense.
They do, yes, and you can kind of see that with the name Wellness Works, Family Fitness Works, a lot of that, yes, because we do work together.
And we know if we're more fit and more well, if you will, we have better insurance opportunities a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's the hope, you know, the healthier that your employees are, hopefully that's going to relate to fewer claims, therefore when you get your benefits renewal, you're going to have a better renewal every year. So that is the ultimate goal. But there's so many areas in a wellness program that cannot be measured on paper, so many non-tangibles that we see when a company sets up a wellness program that it's really fun to watch that develop.
Oh, I'm sure. And I know that you've worked with a lot of companies here in the area. And I think sometimes for especially a lot of the smaller businesses, maybe they think that it doesn't apply to them, or how would I get started, or what does that mean? So if I'm watching today and I'm the owner of a small company, how would that process go? What does that look like? If I want to get started with something like this and I call you, what happens?
Well, and you're right, a lot of large companies have the resources, whether it be financial or someone to dedicate towards that position to run a wellness program. A lot of smaller companies do not. An HR person wears many hats, and they just don't have time to bring in or to add on those duties. So that's where Wellness Works comes into play. We are very fortunate within Wellness Works that we have all the components that a large company would need in order to put together a wellness program, yet we're also small enough that we can structure the program to fit the employer's needs. It's not cookie cutter, you know, here's our program, take it or leave it. So we can structure that what's best for the organization. And a wellness program can benefit a small organization just as much or more sometimes than it can a large organization. So I work as a third-party extension basically of that HR person to administer and run the wellness program for them. Keep the employees engaged, come up with a new activity or a challenge every month, basically always giving them the opportunity to choose and think about a healthier lifestyle.
That is fantastic. I guess even in all the times we've talked, I learned something new each time. So it's fantastic. I didn't realize that you could cater it to that particular business and make it their own specific plan, basically,
we can
for what
to
they
an
need.
extent. We have a portal that all employees have access to, so sometimes we are limited to what the portal can handle. But if someone, perhaps they're already doing wellness screenings through a local provider, we can tag on to that then and take a look at those screenings and see maybe what areas they are lacking, or the higher percentage, maybe there's high BMI or lots of cholesterol, something, and we can tailor a product then to help overcome that issue. So we can structure the program as best fit each employer.
So as well as, say, fitness through Family Fitness Works, I'm sure there are suggestions that you can make for those types of things.
Correct.
Are there also assistance as far as diet and nutrition?
Yes, and it's been said that there's 7 components of wellness, and just a few of them are the physical, nutrition, there's spiritual, financial, there is environmental. So a lot of times if you mention to an employee or even an individual a wellness program, they get a little freaked out because they're thinking it's all about going to the gym and sweating it out and working hard. But there's a lot of other factors that go into wellness. So what we try to focus on is encompassing all those factors into a wellness program. You could hit the gym every day and you could be very fine. In your blood work, you could hit all your markers, but emotionally you could be a wreck.
Sure.
So there are different factors, and we do try to encompass all of those in a wellness program.
Well, and often we forget that rest is one of those.
Yes.
Somewhere in there that, I know I've had periods of time where I've been pushing myself too hard and not getting the goals, and I'm thinking, but I'm working harder than I was. Well, I wasn't getting enough rest to really be making good use of the time I was using.
Right.
So that's another one that I often forget.
Have to remember. Yeah.
Forget that. So, well, that's exciting. So small business calls you, they set up their plan, they're kind of going along. Do you connect them with Family Fitness Works? Can they go access whatever gym? Are there benefits to?
There are. We have a program called the Benefits Bundle, and depending on what level of insurance that we have with that organization, we can offer the gym membership and Wellness Works at a reduced cost.
Okay.
If we don't have any insurance with a company, and we don't have to, that's the thing about Wellness Works, we are a standalone organization, so we can certainly work with RMD Patty insured clients. They do not have to be an RMD Patty insured client. We will not cross that boundary line if they say, you know what, we're comfortable with our current insurance agent, but we want you to come in and administer a wellness program. We understand and respect that. So just because we are owned by a division of RMD Patty doesn't mean that we'll encroach if we're asked not to.
Fantastic.
So we can certainly work with a company, and we can bring in the gym membership and the trainers and that type of thing to work with the employees if they want to go with that route as well.
I think that's fantastic, to be commended, I think, especially since it is a separate organization. For you to have the flexibility to work with either or is great. In the same vein, if someone is happy with their gym somewhere else, they can still participate with a Wellness Works program and work out elsewhere, just maybe not in the bundle.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
I think that's, really the kind of the sky's the limit there then for a business that's looking for a wellness program. Don't necessarily have to be an RMD Patty client, but could be.
Yes.
Don't have to necessarily go to Family Fitness Works, but could, and there's benefits to that. And so essentially looking at that, you should be able to really satisfy any question or need.
And that's why I say it's not cookie cutter and it's not a one size fits all, because it's not going to, the same program's not going to work for every organization. So we're very flexible. Just want to make sure that we're working with them in whatever aspect that they want to help their employees.
That's excellent. I know John wasn't able to be here today, and so just thinking of that in big picture, are there any other things that you want to share from any of the other maybe more John perspective from the Family Fitness Works side, or any programs or things that are going on there specifically, maybe separate from Wellness Works? Or
not that I'm aware of, but Family Fitness Works is constantly growing, so if you haven't been down to the gym yet, definitely take time. You don't have to join just to get a tour. You can even buy a day pass if you want to try it out at first. But everybody there is so welcoming. Try the classes, whatever yours may be, yoga, spinning, one of the CrossFit perhaps. Go down, check that out. Over Christmas break, and I'm not sure when this episode is going to air, but if you have time, take your kids to the Recplex, which is out on the east side of town where the old theater used to be. That's a great indoor activity for kids. If the weather's not nice, get them into the Recplex. Let them bounce around, jump around, burn off some energy. It's a great,
even in the summer when it's raining, we
when
head
it's
out
raining
there
or when
and
it's
go play for 2 hours.
super hot. And that was one of John's goals, is to make sure the kids of our community had a fun place to go. And a lot of times kids don't realize when they're having fun out there, jumping and climbing and doing whatever, they're also exercising.
Exactly.
So that was his ultimate goal, was to get kids somewhere that is safe for them and exercise, but perhaps not say that E word.
And I think that's something that a lot of folks maybe aren't aware of who haven't been. the wealth of opportunity for children.
Yes.
Whether it be swimming, gymnastics, climbing, you name it, there's something that's out there for kids of all ages.
The Sportsplex just recently held a wrestling tournament that drew a lot of people to our community. They're having volleyball clinics all the time. So the Sportsplex, which is in the old Carpenter bus plant, go out there. They have basketball courts, volleyball courts, wrestling mats. Once again, you can buy a day pass. Obviously, you need to stay with your kids because it's not a babysitting facility.
Sure.
But take your kids out there, let them run, burn off some steam, and have some fun.
I know sometimes when folks are thinking about exercise and working out too, it can be overwhelming.
It can be.
I know I feel like I need to lose some weight and I just don't even want to get started. What's your recommendation for people when you just can't get over the hump to start something?
One of the things that I would recommend is everybody try the buddy system. It's very hard to self-motivate for some individuals, myself included. And if you have a buddy or a group of friends that you can call on somebody, if you just have one buddy, it's a little more difficult because if they don't go, then you really got to psych yourself out to go by yourself, or we can always find 1,000 reasons why we got other stuff to do. So try to find a group of friends that you can go to the gym with or just get out and walk with, whatever your goal may be. And that way you've always got somebody to encourage you and to hold you accountable. And that's one of the things that I talk about the gym classes at Family Fitness Works. If you're going to do a New Year's resolution, that's a lot of times, the gym membership just increases at the New Year's time. So a couple things about New Year's resolutions, if you're going to set that as a weight loss or maybe healthy eating, set small goals and reward yourself when you hit those goals. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds, reward yourself after every 5 pounds, whatever the reward may be. But just, we're all about, seems like in today's society, instant gratification.
Sure.
So it's much more fun when you hit that small goal and think, gosh, in just 5 more pounds, I'll get another surprise or treat or whatever. So hit those small goals versus the one big goal. Also, try the classes. The trainers there are extremely friendly. Don't be discouraged or think, oh my gosh, because I've never done this before, I can't do it. All the members are very encouraging and welcoming to individuals who are just starting on their healthier lifestyle path.
Sure. I know that's true. My mom loves to go. Never did yoga in her life, and she talks about her yoga teacher all of the time.
Yes.
It makes a big difference in people's lives all the way around.
Just call up to the front desk, explain that you're new, that you want to have a meeting the first time. They'll sit down with you, discuss what your goals are. If you want to meet with a trainer one-on-one, which a lot of people think is not affordable, it's more affordable than what you would think it is. Okay. So don't be intimidated to perhaps meet with the trainer and have them set you up on an individual plan or try any of the classes. And if you do try the classes, go in and introduce yourself to the instructor the first time. Let them know that you're new there. They'll make sure that you have the proper equipment. If there's lifting going, they'll make sure that you know the proper moves and everything. And like I say, all of the members are extremely welcoming because we were all first timers at one time. So we were all a little bit intimidated. So give it a try.
It can be, but I think that's good advice. Set some small goals, stick with it. The buddy system is excellent. I know I need that
I couldn't do it without the buddy system.
It's amazing how much I enjoy laundry if it's in opposition to going out to run or something like that.
Yes.
I'd much rather do laundry. So that's all really good advice, and I think hopefully we can all set those goals and be successful next year. So
great.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to have with me now Anthony Pruett. Anthony is an intern with the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce right now, and he is a sophomore at Purdue Polytechnic Institute of Richmond, Indiana. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Hello, Amy. It's
How
good
are
to be
you
here.
today?
I'm doing pretty fine.
I'm so pleased that you had time in your schedule. I know you're very busy between school and studies and the other things that you do. Appreciate you taking time to join us.
Oh, you're welcome. My schedule can be pretty hectic, but I manage to squeeze it in.
You are very active. You are a student at Purdue Polytechnic.
Yes, I am currently.
And you reside in Winchester, correct? Yep. So you travel back and forth.
Yeah.
But I know you enjoy the school very much. Tell us a little bit about maybe what you're studying, what your major is, and how that connects to your work with us right now.
All right, like you said, I am currently a sophomore at Purdue Polytechnic, and my major is Computer Graphics Technology, CGT for short. And how it connects with my internship currently is I design advertisements and such, which I help with you guys. I've done quite a bit for you. And that relates to it because it gets me a real life experience, which I don't get in the classroom as much. And it also helps me have a real person to design something for. It's different than when I'm in a classroom, I design something I think's perfect and I just go with it. Versus you, I have to get your opinion on it, and it gives me more real life experience.
That's fantastic, and I love your positive attitude about my opinion. We come from different worlds. You're in a technology-based program at a college, and I did not grow up with similar technologies, and I can remember taking design classes in college, and we talked a lot about the white space. We were working on paper, not on a computer, and so you and I have oftentimes situations where we have to meet in the middle so that I can understand your view and understand what that's going to look like in the end product. So I've learned a lot as well, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And you talked about feedback. So yeah, you've worked on several projects for us, even a few where you had multiple people as your audience.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Is it make you nervous? Are you excited? Or?
It makes me feel nervous at first, but once you get going, it's actually pretty exciting because it makes you want to do better. It drives me to do it forward because since there's so much kind of depending on it, it pressures me to do my best.
Mm-hmm. You did do some work for us, fabulous work I might add,
Thank you.
in conjunction with the America's Best Communities grant. And we used that as a cover sheet on our second submission. So you should be very proud of that work. That went in front of lots and lots of accomplished people here in the community. So very excited for you to be part of that. When it comes to school, and hopefully our experiences here at the Chamber are helping you with your classes and so forth, but what's your goal? What do you hope to do?
I'm currently kind of undecided since the CGT major has a lot of opportunities. I could go into animation, I could do just design like I am currently with you, I could do website design. There's so many possibilities I'm not completely decided on, but currently I enjoy the design work I do with you guys, and then I also enjoy the web development part. So my plan currently is to maybe go into more classes like that in my junior and senior year and then decide then. But if I had to decide now, I'd more than likely do kind of a freelance work and just try to get some different jobs and help build up my portfolio.
That's fantastic. You are working on quite the portfolio, I might add.
Yeah.
And I think internships are great. You know, this is giving you a chance, like you said, to do some things more hands-on and get feedback. And as opposed to just doing a project that you turn in, you've really been working with a team. Does that influence how your design work goes? When, you know, I know you'll hear from Trevor, you hear from me, and then you show it to Melissa. She might have a different opinion. How does that affect your work?
It actually affects it a lot. I kind of touched on it a few minutes ago. But how I normally in class will kind of have my own opinion on something, and I don't mean to, but I assume it's right. When I work with someone else, I get their opinion on it as well, and it makes me change my perspective and get more of a general-based one that everyone can enjoy as well.
Sure. So sometimes you're having to think about, as you go forward, I know oftentimes I'll find myself saying, okay, Amy, this isn't for you. Think about the intended audience and design to that direction. That's hard to do.
Yep.
It's a developable skill, though. I think you're doing fabulously with it.
Thank you.
Well, the best of luck. We'll hope that you continue in your endeavors, and we enjoy having you tremendously in our office and appreciate all of your hard work and flexibility. I know you've also done some other things in the office to help us out that weren't necessarily design connected, and we appreciate that. I think Trevor's had you doing some video things and different things too, so we appreciate your time and always will wish you the best in the future, and I would encourage you to even explore some other internship opportunities to see if those other avenues might be of interest to you.
All right, thank you.
In studio now, I have Trevor Okerson. Hi, Trevor.
Hi, Amy. How are you today?
Good. Thank you again for being with me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We had a great show. Loved visiting with Jane Barker.
Yes. Oh, so much good advice.
Yes.
If there's an expert on meeting your kind of fitness and wellness goals, it's Jane.
Absolutely.
So great to have her in.
Yes, I loved her whole idea with the small goals. Oddly connects to our School is Cool program in our new mantra of every day counts. It's really similar with your fitness. I think we can get overwhelmed in looking at these big goals, and her recommendation is to take small steps.
Yep. Another great parallel is that wellness isn't just about your physical fitness, it's all around your well-being. And just like with our School is Cool program, it's not just about your grades, it's not just about being there. It's also about developing the social skills, the ability to interact with your peers and to cooperate. It's about learning the skills you need in addition to the skills that you just kind of need with other people.
Well-rounded skills for success.
Yep.
And all of those things lead to that. So really good things to talk about. And then of course we had Anthony, who's just our awesome intern, and I know was nervous and did a fabulous job.
We've seen so much growth from him, so I'm really proud to have him with us. And I think he's a great example of how having an internship can provide that real-world experience that just puts you over the top with the skills that you're developing.
Absolutely. And to have Purdue Polytechnic right here in Richmond, we often forget they're small, but they're mighty. A lot of great things, a lot of really interesting, timely majors that they're offering at that school. So excited to have him as part of our team this year. Yeah, looking forward to that. So speaking of this year, the annual dinner is our biggest event of the year.
Coming up, the invitations are out, so be on the lookout for that. Get your RSVPs in. The theme is local talent, global reach, and our speaker is IU President Mick Robbie.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a very, very good speaker. We're excited to have him. We're excited to have this event and celebrate the awesome accomplishments of our business community. We just have such a wealth of good, strong businesses with great, innovative ideas, and we're just happy to celebrate that.
And the leadership that comes with that. Every year we talk about the list of winners, the list of nominees that lead to the list of winners. And it's just absolutely as strong and vibrant this year as it has been in years past, and I can't wait to share it with everyone.
It's so difficult to narrow down the list of nominees. I mean, we just have a wonderful community. Leadership is there, the business is there, and this is a great time to celebrate that. So we're very excited. That'll be on January 22nd. Social hour will begin at 6 with the program, with the food being served at 7, and then the programming beginning shortly after. It's going to be excited. We're happy to have it.
And Melissa has done a fabulous, Melissa
really
and our ACEs, our award celebrations and events committee, always steps up to the plate, helps us put on a fantastic event. I know we're not going to give away all the secrets, but with the theme of local talent, global reach, they've had a lot of fun. There'll be some surprises and some unique things happening, not with the food and drink, with the decorations, and it's really just going to be a real celebration of business, of accomplishment, and success.
Yep.
So looking forward to that.
And that will all be at the Coleman Center as usual. So we're very excited. Once again, that's January 22nd. RSVPs are due the 13th, right?
I believe so.
So be sure to get those in soon.
And you can call the office, you can register online, and like you said, the invitations are out, but if folks have questions, we're happy to help.
Yep. 765-962-1511.
So get your reservations in. We'll look forward to seeing you at the annual dinner. And also, thank you for joining us on Chamber Chat. We appreciate it. From the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, I'm Amy Holthouse. Have a good day.